Now
right.
we've got a special event that, well, this is a little tour you took recently.
Oh, recently, about 3 years ago, we hauled this one out of the archives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's that old. I thought it just happened like maybe a couple of weeks ago.
No, this is a long time ago. 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I took a little trip out to American Breeder Service, and for those of you who have never been there, they do offer tours, and you can go through there just like I did and ask the kind of stupid questions that I asked, and let's take a look at that right now.
Our destination this time on Gordy at Large is a place called ABS, a huge complex of farm buildings and offices near DeForest, Wisconsin. ABS stands for American Breeder Service, and the people that work here have just one thing on their minds: bull semen.
Can you tell me, is the main office here? Ginger Carlson would be in here?
We knew this was an important story to cover, so as we approached the main office, my technician Dave and I carefully checked our equipment to make sure it was in tip-top running order.
You need a balance as soon as we get in?
Screw it, we should be close.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, here we are at American Breeder Service. Let's go on and see what this is all about, huh?
I'm in.
Hi. Gordy, I'm here to see Ginger Carlson. This is Ginger Carlson.
Hi, Dave. Hello.
After being greeted by one of our tour guides, Ginger, we went through one of the many busy hallways of American Breeder Service. The hustle and bustle of activity was nearly overwhelming, and I couldn't help but ask myself, what am I doing at the headquarters of the largest bull breeding service in the world? I must be the luckiest reporter on the face of God's green earth. I marveled at the organization of their modern office complex. What a place! I couldn't wait for our tour to begin. As we were about to be given our security clearances so that we could explore this amazing facility, I paused to wonder what this guy had to do with collecting bull semen. After checking in, our other tour guide, Debbie, joined us, and as we hit the road, she told us about the bull semen that ABS produces.
We have virtually all of the prominent breeds in the industry, all of the dairy breeds and several beef breeds as well. So any cattleman or dairyman in the country or in the world, for that matter, that's looking for a service sire is able to come to ABS and get that genetics for their herd.
We have about 650 bulls housed here, and they're in all different ages, different breeds. In fact, at ABS we produce about 5 million inseminations per year.
Now, ABS makes its money, though, pretty much exclusively on selling bull semen.
That's correct.
Okay. And do prices fluctuate a lot? I mean, is this a competitive business?
Yes, it is very competitive, and we do have quite a fluctuation of prices. Can we do that over?
No.
I was beginning to get the picture. I was particularly taken with how very clean everything was, and I told Ginger so. This reminded her of someone else who had visited ABS.
I had a lady that came out on tour one day, and she was so impressed with the facilities, and she said everything is so clean and so sterile, and I said, oh, sterile is a word we never use around here.
Marty is one of the livestock handlers in this barn, and this is the dog Max, and Marty's going to take us a trip into the pen and show him how Max works.
All right.
I'm just going to show you how the dog takes the bulls up and keeps them away from us when I go in the pen.
Okay. All right. Do you train the dogs yourself?
Yes, we kind of train them. Mostly it's already bred into them.
And what kind of dog is Max here?
It's a blue heeler. The short hair. Then we have an Australian Shepherd's up here too.
Okay, well, have at it, Marty. We'll watch it.
As Marty took Max into the bullpen, I was amazed at the skill and agility they displayed in moving the bulls around.
Where are we going next?
Well, the next stop that we're going to make is the Holstein Hilton. That's one of 3 production barns. A production barn is where a bull is taken. We start actually collecting semen from him.
So now, you talk in terms of units of semen. How much is a unit of semen? What kind of measurement is that?
Okay, that's a half cc unit of semen, and that unit of semen will have between 8 to 10 million live sperm cells in it.
And how many units of semen do you produce per year?
About 5 million units total per year.
No wonder they had to have that big storage tank. But now it was on to the most sacred place on the grounds of ABS, the Bull Cemetery.
Our top dairy bulls buried out here on the side of the Holstein Hilton. The one here to the left is a Jersey bull called Top Brass. He died a year ago in August, and he was 11 years old when he died. Also then to the right of him is a Holstein bull called SWD Valiant. He was 11 years old also when we put him down. He had some physical problems. He was no longer producing semen. And so we decided to bury both of these bulls out here next to the barn because of the genetic contribution that they've made not only to ABS but to the whole industry.
When you had A9 Top Brass and SWD Valiant buried here, did you have a funeral?
Not really, no.
There was no special ceremony.
No, but a lot of people when they come down and they see this, they pause for a moment.
Think about it.
Right.
Did employees often come out here and kind of ponder life?
Not that I've ever seen.
Okay, but what would qualify some other bull, some future bull, to get buried in with these top two bulls? I mean, what would they have to do?
Well, they would have to be very genetically superior for their breed.
Now it was into the barn, the Holstein Hilton.
We have to give everybody boots. We provide them with boots for their feet.
I thought these were bull condoms for a minute.
This is our Hall of Fame. We have pictured up here some of our top bulls, some of our more popular bulls, and then just a few examples of their daughters. And of course you want to remember with artificial insemination, a bull is capable of having thousands and thousands of daughters. One of our customers was injured in a tractor accident some years back, and so for therapy he has been doing some of these stained glass pictures, and he came to ABS, and at that time Valiant was still alive, and he was so impressed with that animal that he went back and did this stained glass picture and then brought it back to us and gave it to us as a gift.
It's beautiful. Does he do churches as well?
Once bulls are brought in here, you can hear the music that's playing. They're very much pampered, a lot more than what they were at the rearing barn.
Who selects the music?
It's MUSAC.
Muzak?
Yes. This is where we can secure the bull. Any treatment of the bull that needs to be done would be done right here.
But you don't collect semen here?
Not here. That's up at the other end of the barn. Some of the breeders that we've obtained bulls from have been pretty popular, pretty well known. In fact, this bull right here, Chiefs Indies Legend, was owned in part by Harrison Ford. Standing alongside of me is Gail Gerloff. She's our summer intern. Gail has one Jersey cow that she's pretty proud of, and so these Jersey bulls have a very special place in her heart.
You like Jerseys, huh?
Yes, I do. They're the smallest breed, but they're best to handle.
Have you always felt that way?
Well, I just started getting into dairy about 3 years ago when I first went to university, but I love all animals, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Bulls are collected based on their popularity, and we also take into consideration how good of semen producers they are. So some bulls are going to be collected more often than others. The average bull, we would take 2 collections or 2 ejaculates per day, and we would collect that bull probably 2 days a week.
Twice a day, 2 days a week.
Right.
Could we take a look at an artificial vagina? Do you have one around?
We have one? Sure.
One that we could see? Okay, why don't you tell us what this is?
What we have, this is called an artificial vagina. It's lubricated, and the semen will eventually run into this vial right here. This is where the collection will eventually end up.
This is kind of big, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Bulls are big too.
Are they? How big?
Well, some of the bulls in here weigh 2,700 pounds. They're quite large animals, so.
The guys that put these artificial vaginas on the bulls' penises, do they have a title, a job title?
Well, they're semen collectors. They're livestock handlers.
I bet the semen collectors have a lot of fun, right? They have a lot of jokes.
Well, I think they get a lot of jokes thrown at them, but they're, and you have to have a sense of humor. I think you have to have a sense of humor in any job that you work with at ABS.
An average collection can
As we finished our tour of the facilities, I paid close attention to a special videotape that our helpful and courteous tour guides had provided for our viewing. Yes, it was very instructive, and I found many of the things in it to be most interesting and informative.
it resembles a live cow's vagina in every way relevant to semen collecting and processing. The major attributes of a good mount are that he be big, sturdy, docile, and easy to handle. Each mount is sprayed with a disinfectant after each use as a precaution against spread of any infection that might be present. The bull is again allowed to mount, and as he makes his thrust, the artificial vagina is placed over his penis.
So the next time you take a bite out of a juicy sirloin steak, have a glass of milk, or a slice of good Wisconsin cheese, you may want to say a little thank you to SWD Valiant and the good people at American Breeder Service. And remember,
Sterile is a word we never use around here.
That, boy, I think. Okay, all right, settle down, settle down.
Quite a response.
Yeah, just a little slice of life there from
Yeah.
the American Breeder Service. That was a lot of fun. That was like 4 years ago, like I said. And the people that you saw there no longer work there. That's right. They were out of there now.
They were ran out of town after that little piece.
Well, I don't know if they knew what I was really doing there, but it doesn't really matter now. So.
Well, I thought it was well done. And you did have a good time, and I think they did too.
It was all good fun.
Until they saw that.
Well, let's see. How are we doing on time?
I think
here?
we're all done.
Do we have another piece?
We've pretty much run out.
Don't we have another thing?
We have another piece, but
what was it?
It was an emergency piece of tape that we were going to run just in case we ran a little short. But since we don't have time, we'll never get to my honeymoon. Oh no, not that!
Come on.
Oh, sorry about that.
Can't we push Shogger back a few minutes?
I don't think so. I really think we must be going.
How long is your piece?
Oh, I
don't mean to get personal.
4 or 5 minutes. How long is my piece? Thank you.
Well, all right.
Another little tour here.
All right. I don't know. Do we have time? I guess we don't have time.
We don't. They're saying no. That's it.
They're taking votes in there, and
oh, they are.
All right. We'll show it some other time. No,
right.
show it next week.
See, they don't want to see it.
They want to go home.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was great. A nice look back.
A little trip down memory lane for John and Gordy.
That's what it's all about. Next week, we don't know what the hell we're going to do.
Right, but we hope you join us then.
Right.
See you next Tuesday at 8:30, and stay tuned for Shogger.